the scams at some stage in our previous conversations, but I know that it evolves so much, and I know that even like sometimes people they kind of enter, they're saying, "Oh, I just got scammed," they're talking, and then a scammer reaches out and says, "Hey, we can help you get your money back. You need to," and they get caught again, and
Again.
it's like. What's new in that space because they're constantly ahead of the curve, like they just know what's going on, and they like I mean when you hear of like Mark Cuban getting caught, like you would think he'd have the people in place. So I have seen so many people getting caught. So it's not on you, it's on them, but you have to protect yourself. So is there anything new that people should be aware of that's this in this
Well,
scam?
I mean, I mean, I don't know how much they're aware of. So last year, I know, and I called this. I was one of the first people to call this. What happened was people were getting phone calls from their centralized exchange. So a centralized exchange is just like a crypto bank account, is all it is. It's called a centralized exchange. So Coinbase, Bitget, Binance, there's a BitMEX, Bybit. There's a bazillion of them, right? So they're getting called by, supposedly a customer service rep. And, they're chatting, and then these reps are incredibly suave, incredibly suave. They know exactly how to play you. They don't move towards you. It could be something as simple as, "Hey, Roy, I'm, Daniel from, Bybit. Unfortunately, I see, there's been two attempts on your account. Someone's trying to get in. We've located them. They're in, Australia. We're going to block them, but because there's been multiple attempts on your account, we're going to have to shut down your account for 90 days. We're going to suspend it." And then, the first question I asked was, "What do I do?" I was like, "Well, there's really not much you can do. We're just going to lock your assets for 90 days until we, reevaluate this, and we're going to make you redo all your security verification, and then we'll clear it. It might be cleared, as soon as 30 days, but it usually takes 30 to 90 days. And then most people in crypto know they can't have their assets. Well, is there any other option? Well, I mean, if you can open up your own wallet and, you do this, what I can do is have you send, I can send, have you send your assets to yourself, right? Here's a trust wallet we'll provide for you, right? Here's a wallet address. You go ahead and if you want, you can send them to there and then, until it's cleared and then you can send it back. Some version of that, which makes perfect sense, right? Except it's not your wallet. It's their wallet. So they convince you to go on your, which they have no access to, and send your assets to them. However, this is the thing that got one of my clients. And he's like, "Boy," he goes, "They knew about me. They knew my cell number. They knew." I said, "You know what?" I said, "I guarantee you they're leaking information from inside the centralized exchange." And I was correct. And they muted it. Two or three centralized exchanges, people were paying their workers to leak just the phone number because they come for a text, just the phone number and a few of like basics about them. So they knew your name, they knew your phone number, they knew what you held a little bit. They don't know pretty, but they knew just enough to gain your trust and to be authentic. And remember, these centralized exchanges do texting, but they'll never reach out to you first. And if they do, anyways, I have protocols to prevent all this stuff. But at the end of the day, they are suave. Now, there's other ones too, right? There's really easy ones. Like I could go on the internet and tell everybody and show you YouTube videos how, Jeff invested with me and he went from 1x to 5x. And I can give you references and you can call. And I'll even tell you, "Hey, you invest with me, you control your money the whole time. I have not, all I do is teach you. I will never hold your money." Now, the platform I use is this XYZ Crypto Super platform. This is the easiest, smoothest one. Here's my referral code. Get in there. There's no charge. Use that platform, and I'm going to teach you how to make a mint. So you open up an account on that platform, you send your money in, you start making money. What you don't realize until like, because you throw 5 grand on and next, it's 20 grand. And then you throw another 5 grand and now it's 70 grand. And you're like, "Holy fucking God, this is crazy." I apologize for swearing. All right, I'm going to throw 15,000. Next thing you know, it's 300,000. And you're like, "This is awesome. I want to buy my wife a car. I'm going to take out 100,000." You're like, "I want to take out 100,000. Oh, okay. On this exchange, In order to take out money, you need to spend $3,000 for the process. You're like, what are you talking about? It's my money. Well, of course it is. But if you want to release, this is the way it works. It's just $3,000. So you'll send you 100,000. It's not me, of course, the guy teaching you. It's the platform. What people don't realize is the scammer owns the platform. You sent your money to a platform that's not tier one. That's not a verified, authentic platform. But as a newbie, as a new person, you have no clue. How would you know that a website and a platform that looks professional, that you have all these people online making a fortune on, isn't real? So you send them your money, you have a fake account that you see as 300,000. Now you want money out, you send them $3,000 to get your money. And guess what they say? That's great. That paid for the first phase. Now we got the check. We got to send it to you. That's another 1,500. And they will keep bleeding you until you give up and you'll never get a penny. And not to say, don't worry. What the worst part is, Roy, when you're making money, what's the first thing people do? They tell their friends and family. So then people start signing up and the platforms, oh, I give you a $5,000 bonus if anybody, whatever they put in, I'll give you 50% bonus. You start calling up your buddies. Dude, throw 10 grand in. You'll make 100,000 in under 2 weeks. You get your 5 grand bonus, which you'll never see. It's insane. And it just goes on and on and on. And people lose money. Then they keep sending them money because they keep seeing this number on a screen with their name on it and they want that number and they'll never get it. But it's psychologically ravaging. It destroys people. It destroys families. It destroys so much. And these are just a small excerpt, it's a very small excerpt of how much sinister behavior and how well thought out. I mean, these are just retail scams.